Welcome, listeners, to another My Mind MashUps deep dive, where we unravel mysteries, spark curiosity, and make sense of complex ideas together.
Glad to be here.
So, we have all been there, right? You sit down to do just one quick task.
Oh, yeah. Always a mistake.
Right, like maybe you need to check an email from your boss, or you just want to look up a recipe for dinner.
Just something that should take 2 minutes.
Exactly, 2 minutes. And then suddenly, 45 minutes have just completely vanished into the ether.
Poof, gone.
You look up, you're blinking at the screen, genuinely wondering how on earth you ended up watching like a 14-part video series of a guy restoring a 19th century toaster.
Hey, some of those toaster restorations are pretty intense, to be fair.
I mean, they are. But it's so easy to walk away from those moments feeling this deep sense of guilt.
Oh, absolutely. Like you did something wrong.
Yeah, feeling like your lack of focus is some kind of personal failing or just a total lack of willpower. But today, we're going to show that your attention is not just a personal struggle.
It really isn't.
Your attention is a contested resource, meticulously shaped by algorithms, advertisers, creators, and habits.
And to figure out just how deep this goes, we are pulling from a massive stack of research today. We're going to really look under the hood of what we call the attention economy.
We've got a lot to cover.
We do. We have the 2025 Better Feeds report from Georgetown University to help us understand the mechanics, plus some wild financial data from Deloitte and the Interactive Advertising Bureau, just mapping out the sheer amount of money involved.
The money part is, well, it's staggering.
It's unbelievable. And we will also be looking at major mental health tracking from the American Psychiatric Association and Pew Research.
Right, because this actually impacts us physically and mentally.
Exactly. We're even pulling insights from a recent Federal Trade Commission workshop and the 2026 World Happiness Report to see how this impacts society at large.
So the mission today is to understand exactly how our focus is being allocated by these invisible systems and, more importantly, how we can reclaim it.
Reclaiming it is the key.
Definitely. And before we dive into the exact mechanics of how your focus is being harvested, please take a quick second to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep bringing you these deep dives.
Yes, please do.
So before we can understand why our attention feels so incredibly fragmented these days, we first need to understand the underlying machinery of the screens we stare at.
Right, because we tend to think of our feeds as just, a stream of content.
Like a digital magazine or something, you just flip the pages.
Exactly. But the Georgetown 2025 Better Feeds report makes it very clear that it is so much more mechanical and honestly aggressive than that.
Aggressive is a good word for it.
People often assume that social media platforms simply show posts from people they follow in some sort of chronological or random order.
I think a lot of people still believe that. Like it's just a timeline.
Right, but that is fundamentally incorrect. The backbone of these platforms is the recommender system.
The recommender system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These systems do not just passively display content. They actively select, filter, personalize, score, and rank items for every single user.
Wait, for every user?
Millions of times a second.
Okay, let's actually pause there and break that down because score and rank sounds like my feed is taking a math test or something.
It kind of is, yeah.
How is it scoring a video of, like, a dog on a skateboard?
Well, it scores it based on a prediction of your behavior. First, the system selects tens of thousands of possible posts you could potentially see.
Tens of thousands.
Then it filters out things it knows you dislike. Then comes the personalization and scoring part.
Right.
It assigns a strict mathematical value to every single piece of content based on exactly how likely you are to engage with it.
So it's assigning a number to the skateboarding dog.
Exactly. And to do all that scoring, the system needs a strict metric. It needs to know what winning actually looks like.
Winning for the platform, you mean?
Right. In the context of these algorithms, engagement is not some abstract feeling of user joy or satisfaction. It has nothing to do with whether you liked it in your heart.
That's a little depressing.
It's strictly defined by measurable physical behaviors. So, clicks, likes, comments, reposts, watch time, and a very critical metric called dwell time.
Dwell time. Just the phrase makes me a little uncomfortable.
It's very clinical, isn't it?
It is. That is the platform measuring how long my thumb pauses over a post as I am scrolling.
Right.
Even if I do not click anything, the machine knows I lingered.
Your hesitation is data. That's the reality. Let's look at the actual mechanism. When your thumb hovers over a video for just like half a second longer than usual, the algorithm updates your profile in real time.
Half a second. Wow.
Instantly. It instantly cross-references your micropause with millions of other users who paused on that exact same video, calculates the emotional resonance of that content, and updates the next 10 items in your feed to match it.
So I'm basically training the machine every time I hesitate.
You are training the machine, but, and this is crucial, the machine is also training you. What's fascinating here is the stark warning issued in the Georgetown report. Platforms optimize these predicted engagements in ways that elevate short-term clicks over your long-term value and well-being.
Over my well-being.
Yes, the system isn't asking, will this user feel fulfilled after watching this?
Right. It doesn't care if I learn something valuable.
Not at all. It is literally just asking, will this user stay on the app for 10 more seconds?
It's like going to a restaurant wanting a nutritious, satisfying steak. But the waiter only brings you the most sugary, deep-fried onion rings because he knows you will eat them fast.
That's a great way to put it.
Like, you came in for the entree, but before you can even look at the menu, there is just a plate of fried food in your face.
You didn't even order it.
Right, you didn't order it. But you eat one, so the waiter instantly brings out 5 more plates. Eventually, you leave feeling completely bloated and gross, even though you technically, engaged with the appetizers.
Engaged very highly, according to his metrics. And to push that analogy further, the waiter is also timing exactly how fast you chew those onion rings.
Oh, that's creepy.
He's timing it so he knows the precise millisecond to drop the next plate on your table. He is building a behavioral profile on your chewing speed to ensure you never have a moment to realize you are full or to ask for the check.
To ask for the check, wow. So
Yeah.
you never leave.
Exactly.
But wait, I have to push back here.
Okay, go for it.
If the algorithm is just giving us exactly what we pause on or click on, aren't we ultimately the ones in control here? I mean, if I am eating the onion rings, that is my choice, right?
It is a logical defense, and honestly, it is the exact PR line often used by the platforms themselves.
We're just giving people what they want.
Exactly. We just show you what you like. But to answer it, we have to look at the money.
The money always tells the real story.
Always. We are not totally in control because this machinery is not neutral. It is a meticulously designed financial engine that turns human focus into astronomical revenue.
Let's talk about that revenue. Because when we say astronomical, we are talking about numbers that the human brain genuinely struggles to comprehend.
We really are. Let me give you the figures. According to the IAB and PwC reports, the 2024 U.S. internet advertising revenue hit $258.6 billion.
$258 billion. With a B.
With a B! And out of that, $88.8 billion came from social media alone.
That is just, I can't even picture that amount of money.
It's massive. That is essentially Wall Street betting $250 billion that their algorithms can predict your next thumb swipe better than you can control it.
They're betting against our self-control, basically.
Precisely. Furthermore, looking at the creator side, the 2025 creator ad spend is projected to hit $37 billion.
$37 billion just on creators.
Just on creators. Nearly half of ad buyers now consider funding creators a must-buy. Deloitte's 2025 and 2026 media reports highlight the core tension driving this money, which is that your daily media time is finite.
Right? There are only 24 hours in a day.
You have to sleep, you have to eat, and work for most of them, sadly. Because your attention has a hard biological limit, these platforms are fighting a brutal zero-sum game for your focus.
It's a zero-sum game. So if an hour of my time goes to platform A, platform B loses real, tangible dollars.
Exactly. It is a digital tug-of-war, and my eyeballs are the rope.
Wow, they cannot just be like, good enough. They have to be so compelling that I ignore my sleep to keep scrolling.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you realize that the business model explicitly rewards content that is unforgettable, interruptive, sticky, and endlessly present.
Sticky.
Very sticky. The platforms are financially incentivized to make sure you never experience a moment of boredom, because boredom is the trigger that makes you put the phone down.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Right.
Because it is not just the platforms and the users in this equation.
No, there's a third party.
It is also the people making the content, right?
Right.
The creators.
Mm-hmm.
There is a brilliant 2025 paper
Mm-hmm.
by Yi-Chen Feili and Marcel Proust that dives into this dynamic.
It's a great paper.
They argue that the algorithm doesn't just shape the viewer. It fundamentally alters the creator.
It changes the entire ecosystem of what is produced.
Yeah.
The recommendation algorithms dictate who gets seen, who gets paid that slice of the $37 billion, and who just fades into total obscurity.
It is like street performers being forced to juggle flaming swords. Because playing a beautiful acoustic song doesn't stop traffic anymore.
That's the perfect visual.
Imagine a brilliant musician playing a complex, soulful melody on the corner. But the algorithm, which is the crowd in this case, keeps walking right past until someone starts setting things on fire and screaming.
Right. Suddenly all the money flows to the fire juggler.
So what does the acoustic musician do? They either learn to juggle fire or they starve.
It's adapt or die. And the Chen, Lees, and Priest paper points out that this system actively filters out weaker creators, meaning those who make nuanced, educational, or perhaps slower-paced content.
It pushes viral extremes at the expense of genuine relevance.
The attention economy trains the creator to become more extreme, more frequent, more clipped, and more emotionally immediate.
This is a massive shift for anyone listening to understand. It means the content you are consuming isn't a reflection of reality, or even a reflection of genuine human creativity anymore.
No, not really.
It is a reflection of what an algorithm has trained humans to do to survive financially. You think you are watching a genuine vlog or a passionate rant, but you are actually watching a behavioral response to a machine's financial incentives.
A trained response. The system demands hyper-engagement from both users and creators to fuel this massive financial engine. And that demand for intensity is where the machinery starts to grind against human psychology.
And if this is resonating, hit subscribe so you do not miss the next deep dive. Because this brings us to the inevitable friction this system is causing in our daily lives. People are not just passively accepting this anymore, are they?
No, the friction is becoming impossible to ignore. Millions of people are waking up to the reality of this environment.
What are the numbers looking like on that?
Well, the American Psychiatric Association released data in 2025 showing that 62% of adults get anxious without access to their phones.
62%. That's a clear majority of adults.
Right. But more telling is that 50% of adults had actively limited their social media use that year. People are feeling the burn and consciously trying to pull their hands away from the stove.
If you are listening to this, you might be thinking, well, I am not addicted. I can put my phone down whenever I want.
A lot of people think that.
But the institutional responses show that even if you have willpower, the platforms are designing against it. It has reached the highest levels of consumer protection.
It really has.
The FTC hosted a workshop in 2025 explicitly targeting what they call the attention economy. The Consumer Protection Agency stepping into this space is huge.
It's unprecedented, really.
They weren't mincing words. They specifically discussed addictive design and how these platforms deliberately erode parental authority.
The youth impact was a major focus there, and it is a critical layer of this deep dive. Pew Research's 2025 teen report found that 45% of teens say they spend too much time online.
Wow.
And nearly half, 48%, say social media actually harms people their age.
The teens themselves are looking at the data and saying, this is hurting us?
Yes.
That self-awareness is staggering.
We are seeing serious public health consensus forming around this. The Surgeon General issued an advisory warning that adolescents spending more than 3 hours a day on social media face double the risk of mental health problems.
Double the risk.
Specifically, depression and anxiety symptoms. Building on that, the 2026 World Happiness Report went even further, framing the current state of social media as a population-level harm for adolescents.
Population-level harm, that's heavy language.
It is, and to be clear to the listener, we are impartially reporting the consensus forming among these major health and research bodies without taking a side in the broader political debate.
Right, we're just looking at the research.
But the sheer volume of institutional concern shows this is no longer a fringe discussion.
Okay, let's unpack this, because there is a massive layer of nuance we cannot ignore here.
Oh, absolutely. It's complicated.
It is not as simple as saying all screens are bad and we should just smash our routers and live in the woods.
Right.
That same 2025 Pew report that highlighted the harms also found that 74% of teens say social media helps them feel more connected to their friends.
That's a huge percentage.
And 63% say it gives them a vital place to show their creative side.
Because the tools do deliver real value. Belonging, discovery, creativity, support communities for marginalized groups. These are very real human benefits that these platforms facilitate.
Right. So if half of us are actively cutting back, but 74% of teens say it helps them connect, Aren't we trapped in a massive paradox?
It's the ultimate modern paradox.
We are anxious without it, but we also genuinely rely on it for human belonging. How do those two realities exist at the same time?
This raises an important question. If the tools themselves offer genuine connection, why do they leave us feeling so drained and anxious?
Exactly. Why do I feel terrible after using something that supposedly connects me to my friends?
The answer lies in the conflict of incentives. The issue is not whether the tools are useful. They are. The issue is whose goals the systems are optimized for when your long-term well-being directly conflicts with their short-term engagement metrics.
So the platform wants you to connect with your friends, sure, but it wants you to do it while scrolling past 20 targeted ads and 4 rage bait videos that spike your adrenaline.
Precisely. The system that delivers a warm message from a loved one is the exact same algorithmic pipeline designed to keep you endlessly scrolling through those deep-fried appetizers we talked about.
The machine does not differentiate between a meaningful connection and a viral outrage spike.
It only measures the dwell time for both. When the platform's primary goal is maximizing the time your eyes are glued to the screen to serve ads, your mental health and genuine connection are, at best, a secondary concern.
A secondary concern. That makes a lot of sense. So acknowledging this modern paradox, how do we live inside the digital world without letting it completely hijack our inner lives? Because like we said, retreating to a cabin in the woods isn't a realistic option for most of us.
No, we need these tools for work, for school, for life. But the sources we have explored today point to a very sober, empowering solution. It is not about throwing your phone in the ocean.
Good, because my phone was expensive.
Right. It is about ownership. It is about intentionally shaping the conditions under which your attention is spent, rather than letting the machine set the terms.
Okay, but telling people to take ownership sounds great in a textbook. In reality, I have a job, I have kids, and my boss texts me on WhatsApp at 8 p.m.
The real world friction, yeah.
Setting defaults isn't always that simple. How did the sources actually suggest we manage this without going completely off the grid and, losing our jobs?
Well, it starts with friction. The platforms removed all friction to keep you scrolling, so you have to add friction back into the system.
Friction, what does that look like?
Turn off non-essential notifications, so the machine isn't constantly tapping you on the shoulder.
Right.
You decide when to check the app. The app does not decide when to check you. Protect your sleep and your mornings.
The mornings are tough.
They are, but do not let an algorithm be the last thing you see at night or the first thing you interact with when you wake up.
Because it just sets the tone for the day.
Exactly. That primes your brain for the engagement loop all day long. Most importantly, you have to limit what researchers call algorithmic drift.
Algorithmic drift. That is the 19th century toaster phenomenon.
That's exactly what that is.
You open the app to check a message and drift into an hour of unrelated videos.
To combat that drift, you have to counter-program your brain with what you choose to consume when you do have focus. Deliberately choosing long-form inputs.
Like reading a book.
Reading a book, watching a comprehensive documentary, or having a deep, uninterrupted conversation. Doing this helps rebuild your brain's biological capacity for sustained thought.
Rebuilding the muscle, essentially.
Yes. We have to train ourselves to stay with one thought long enough for it to actually become wisdom, rather than just reacting to 15-second clips of disconnected information.
So what does this all mean? It means your attention isn't just a currency for advertisers. Your attention is your life in motion.
That's beautiful.
Moment by moment, what you choose to focus on builds your reality. What repeatedly gets your focus eventually gets a say in who you become.
It literally wires your brain.
If you want to be a patient, thoughtful person, you cannot spend 6 hours a day training your brain to react to hyper-stimulating, fragmented content. Like, comment, and subscribe to hear more My Mind MashUps Deep Dives.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over based on the trajectory of this data. If human attention dictates our perception and our memory, and our feeds are increasingly training us to only consume 15-second emotional spikes,
Which they are.
what happens to society a decade from now? Will our generation's collective history just be a fragmented blur of viral moments rather than a shared, sustained cultural narrative?
That is a fascinating question. Find My Mind MashUps everywhere you listen. Amazon Music, Audible, Facebook, Pocket Casts, Spotify, TikTok, and YouTube. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could shape our next deep dives.